Hi guys, and welcome to this Plunket 88 production. I'm your host Gareth Archer. So before I go any further, I would like to wish everybody a massive happy Christmas. I hope you spend it with loved ones. I hope you eat until your bellies burst, and I hope you get what you're expecting to receive for Christmas. For me personally, Christmas is all about family and loved ones and food, and I'm a very big food food enthusiast. I'll use that word right now. If you're wondering why I'm a bit scatterbrained, more than maybe usual, is I've had probably 10 hours sleep over the last couple of days, so I may be a little scatterbrained or a bit all over the place, so bear with me on that one. So yeah, for me personally, it's about spending time with loved ones and eating food. But at the same token, in this day and age, in our culture, presents are a major thing. So, I am excited about that. But for me, they're kind of secondary. So what I want to discuss in this video is some New Year's resolutions for myself personally. Now, most people, their New Year's resolutions consist of going to the gym, getting fit, quitting smoking, quitting drinking, whatever vices people try and quit when they have a New Year's resolution. Trying to think. Get better at work harder. Some people have that resolution. My resolution, some people are going to give me shit for, and I've gotten shit for it 2 days ago on a Discord chat. My New Year's resolution is to play more games, but there's another resolution kind of hidden behind that, and that resolution is to watch less YouTube. So what I've been finding a lot recently is when it comes to films, TV shows and games, I feel like I'm looking through a window or looking into a snow globe almost, and there's people chatting about games, about Game of Thrones, about this movie, about this game, that kind of stuff, about Stranger Things on Netflix, to name a few things, and there's me on the outside going, yeah, this all sounds interesting stuff. Pity I can't join in with any of the conversations. The reason why I can't join in with any of the conversations is because I haven't played any of this. Why? Because I've watched far too much YouTube. Now, I remember a time, a simpler time, you could say, where I'd come home from work or come home from college, I would power up my console, whatever I had at the time. PS3 is what I had during college. I would game, go to work, come back from work, watch a DVD of 24. Actually, I did all 7 seasons of 24 while watching 1 or 2 episodes a night when I came in from work. And I would also settle down and watch The Binding of Isaac on Northern Line channel on YouTube, or Biznap's channel. And that's all I did. And as time went on, because Northern Line has a network of friends, you could say I started expanding that watching habits. If you were to ask me now what I watch on YouTube, how long we got? I watch a lot of things on YouTube that are stupid, pointless. Why am I watching this? Sort of thing. And it's something I need to get a lot better at. And some things I'm going to start doing is replacing or exchanging YouTube watching time for Netflix watching time or Amazon Video, because I have access to that as well, rather than watching YouTube, which, I can't walk up to, I don't know, my mum or sister or colleague at work. I can't go, oh, did you watch this person's vlog over the weekend, because none of them watch YouTube. However, my mum's watched Stranger Things, my sister watched Gilmore Girls. I don't watch Gilmore Girls personally, but what I'm trying to say is if I watch Stranger Things, which I haven't yet, I could, talk to my mum a lot more on that subject. She's also watched Heroes. She's watching Hemlock Grove currently. What else? She watched the originals, Pretty Little Liars, all that kind of stuff. Now, some of those I'm not going to personally watch, but the thing about movies and TV shows and games nowadays is they are social. They are very social, especially with social media and things out there. So I want to essentially feel less like an outsider, and I want to start getting involved with these things, and to get involved. There is a quote it was attributed to John Lennon, but it's been attributed to a lot of other people, and it goes something like this: time spent wasting time is not time wasted. Essentially what it means is sometimes take a load off, sit back, put your feet up, that sort of thing. But there comes a point where you may be doing that too much, and I feel like I am doing that too much in a lot of ways. I've just gotten into a bit of a routine, you could say, into just watching YouTube and not doing anything else. I mean, at this precise moment in time, I've got The Punisher on my PS4 and Netflix, watching some Punisher, because a few colleagues at work have been asking me about that for a little while, and every time I mention it to someone, I have to quickly jump in and go, no spoilers please. Which is funny, because a bit of a tangent is the other day people were speaking about Stranger Things, actually, and was it Stranger Things or was it Daredevil? It might be Daredevil, because I've seen Daredevil, the series obviously, and they didn't check before revealing a spoiler of Daredevil, and a load of people jumped on them and was ripping them to shits. And they turned around and said, oh, I assumed everyone watched it because everyone, Netflix is easy to binge. And what he was basically doing is he was taking his own habits and projecting them on other people. So he binged Daredevil, and he automatically assumed everyone else would binge it, so therefore it's perfectly alright to just drop a spoiler without warning people into a chat on Facebook and just go almost like this, almost like you just dropped a bomb and you're going to watch it explode. He knew full well that he would get shit for it, but he was like, I don't know if he was pretending, but he was sort of going like, oh, you guys are being, I just assumed everyone binge watched it. No, not everyone has the same habits as you do. I know of a couple of people who they do have autism and OCD. They watch one episode a week like you would a TV show, because A, they want it to last, and B, that's how they do things. It's entirely up to you how you want to watch these programs. That's the whole point of Netflix, is you can either binge it, so you can watch it in small chunks here and there. It's entirely up to you how you watch it. I think all of the Netflix original shows are going to be on Netflix till Netflix no longer exists. So, if someone doesn't watch Daredevil or Stranger Things or any of the other original Netflix series until 4 years down the road, it's entirely up to them. Say, for instance, someone's been working for 4 years really hard and then gets laid off or what have you, and then spends the next 4 months binging everything they've missed on Netflix. That's kind of up to them. 2 seconds, guys. I've got a drink, don't have much left. I'm trying to think why I mentioned this guy who dropped a spoiler in the chat for oh yeah, that's why I was mentioning it. Because in this day and age, people are a lot more careful about discussing shows they're watching on Netflix with people, because they could spoil it for them. They understand, my mum understands that the way Netflix works is that, at any point I can choose to watch Stranger Things. It's entirely up to me, so to speak. Whereas, had it been a show that was on telly or something, there's a little less, how do I put this, although Game of Thrones has kind of put this in a bit of a wrench in the works on this. But when it comes to most TV shows, if you just mention things here and there, people are like, minor spoilers are right. But everyone, for the most part, is super careful not to spoil anything on Netflix, especially, Stranger Things and stuff like that. almost to a point where they're not willing to discuss anything in case it accidentally spoils something. So as a result, they're not willing to enter into a discussion about it, so that precludes whoever doesn't, get involved with that conversation. So, I did say it was a bit of a tangent. Long story short, I need to watch things like Stranger Things and some of the other things my mum is watching on Netflix, so I can get involved with that sort of stuff. And also, I was on Netflix about a month ago now, and I noticed they had Rogue Nation, which is the latest Mission Impossible. They had, I've completely forgotten now. They had a bunch of films on there that I've been wanting to watch for a long, long time now. They've got Back to the Future on there as well, actually. And it's almost like I've been spending the last possibly year two avoiding watching these things, or avoiding watching games in favour of YouTube. Why? I don't fucking know. So what I'm going to start doing is grabbing, things by the balls and doing them, rather than sort of pussyfooting around them. I don't know, And I'm going to start exchanging YouTube watching time for Netflix and stuff like that, so I can start getting involved with these discussions. And the primary thing I want to do is play more games. There's so many games in my backlog that I haven't played and haven't even touched, that I really need to get in with and involved with and go from there. So that's essentially my New Year's resolution, is to stop watching so much YouTube and then substitute that with things that are going to allow me to have discussions with people and interact with people. And obviously gaming is all part of that. Plus, I do feel sometimes that my consoles do collect dust a little bit. Anybody? Dust? No. Anybody? Dust? No. So that's my New Year's resolution. As I said, I'm probably going to get shit for it, because I got shit for it 2 days ago when there's a bunch of people, in the Discord chat that called me a hermit. They called me a bunch of names, to be honest. And literally about an hour ago, I was in the same Discord chat, and there's a guy who, this is going to be funny, there's a guy who has taken comfort in peeling prawns. I assume they're having seafood for Christmas, which is a interesting Christmas dinner. Seafood Christmas dinner, why not? Hey, he lives in Australia, by the way. He's peeling prawns for his grandma for Christmas tomorrow, I assume, or Christmas in a few hours for him, because he's in Australia. And he finds it relaxing to do what I would consider a chore. Not being funny, to me, peeling prawns is a chore. Washing up, cooking, what else? Vacuuming, I consider cooking a chore. Sorry, I do. Anything that you have to do and you have to eat, you can't not eat, is a chore to a certain extent. Cooking and making food is a chore in my book. Some people enjoy it, to me it's a chore, essentially. So the fact he's peeling prawns and doing that is a chore, but he was sort of saying to me that he enjoys that, and I was a bit incredulous, to be completely honest. And 2 people in there just had a massive go at me and said, "Oh, why don't you try going outside rather than playing video games?" And I'm thinking, why would I go outside? Seems a bit strange. But essentially what they were saying is, during the festive season, spend time with family and spend time doing things you wouldn't normally do, basically, and go from there, which is ironic because this person was actually expecting a Switch for Christmas, which I do find there was a strong irony in there. But yeah, it was an interesting discussion. But that's my New Year's resolution. I'm also going to get shit for this because I don't have the greatest track record with keeping up with promises, but we'll see where things go. Anyway guys, I wish you a very happy Christmas. It is Christmas Eve as I record this video, and I will see you in the next one. Give me a like, dislike, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra guys.